Today, we're at a Sony press event in Ireland where I'm getting to check out the brand new Sony A7R Mark IV. Now, we've just been given this camera after a lengthy presentation about everything it can do, and I want to try and tell you a little bit about that. So the first thing of note is obviously the sensor. It's a brand new design. It's a 61 megapixel back illuminated CMOS sensor, and it's giant. What you've got to remember is that this is the biggest or highest resolution sensor for a full frame mirrorless currently on the market, which is great. Now, you might be thinking, oh, the megapixel rate again, let's not start that again, but it's not just about the resolution with this camera. They've redesigned really everything about it compared to the Mark III. We've got an upgraded Bionz X processor to be able to deal with those massive files. It can record 15 stops of dynamic range, which is fantastic. And it's not just about the resolution or the color, it's also really fast. They've upgraded it to real-time tracking AF, and it can do real-time tracking IAF and animal IAF as well, which is great news for so many photographers out there. And it can shoot 10 frames per second with continuous AF and AE exposure. So, I mean, the thing is built to be a photographer's camera. It really is. Now, it does have some video modes, which I'll go over a little bit later, but it is built for the stills photographer. And yet, I still want to call it a hybrid camera, and the reason I want to do that is because it's not often you find a stills camera that's aimed at not only high-end architectural photography, portrait photography, studio photography, but also that you can shoot wildlife, and you can really shoot wildlife with this thing. Obviously you can crop in, it does have an incredible APS-C mode as well, but with 10 frames per second and that animal IAF, as well as really quick tracking AF anyway, it's become a real player to be an all-in-one solution for a pro photographer. Now, we've only got about half an hour to test this thing out. We've got a few studio setups downstairs that we're going to have a quick play with, and then we've got the grounds of the beautiful house we're staying in to test out this camera. And at the moment, I've got the brand new 35mm f1.8 on it, and we do have a 135 to have a play with as well. So let's go take some shots. So I've now got my hands on an A7R IV. I'm primarily going to be using a 135mm or an 85mm just because they're lovely lenses for portrait, and we've got a lot of portrait setups behind us, so we're going to go and have a look, see just what it can do. So here you can see that real-time tracking for the IAF with this. It's absolutely fantastic. Even when the model turns away, it just picks up the eye straight away again, and it goes from subject to face to eye. Subject, face, eye. It'll always pick up one or the other, and it's picking up the eye from quite a distance as well. It's just really locking on. That's going to be absolutely amazing for portrait photographers. So this is why the A7R IV is going to be so good in pro studio setups. Here we've got a camera behind me on a tripod which is taking pictures of the lovely models, and then that is wirelessly tethering to the Sony Imaging Edge software over on the Mac over there, which is hooked up to that screen. So this is going to be perfect in studios. It's great for getting rid of risk if you're doing pro shoots with lots of people around. There's no wires, people can't trip over, and it's great if your clientele are chilling at the back. They want to be looking at what you're doing and you need to be up here and you don't want to be running a massive USB cable. It's fantastic for that. Now, to really show you what this resolution means, I'm going to print one of these images. We're going to print it big. Come to that point in the day where it's time for whiskey. So we're going to do a shoot here. I'm going to use the continuous frame rate, 10 frames per second, and this lovely lady's going to drop an ice cube into some fake whiskey for me, and we're going to see what we can get. Okay, so we're all ready? Okay, so the images have finished buffering and I've got a shot I'm happy with. Just a note on that buffer, the R Mark IV has got an increased buffer size over the R3, just so it can deal with that higher resolution megapixel count. We've got our print, so we're going to go and try and find somewhere that's a little bit brighter to have a look at just how sharp it is. We've come back to the recording room because there's good light in here, so I can show you this print we just took. So, that's going to have sounded horrible for you. This is what we've been looking at. Now, the quality of the print is stunning. So this was taken, this is a JPEG, so we don't currently yet have access to the RAWs. Process, literally put it straight into Imaging Edge, and then it was just printed straight away. So we haven't done any adjustments. This is straight out of camera. This is a super fine JPEG, 61 million pixels, and this is what I'm going to be looking at. So with the IAF, it's just caught her eye straight away. I didn't have one problem. I think there was one shot missed, and I took about 300 images, which is just fantastic. So it's hit her eye every single time. It did go between these two models at times, which is completely, you'd understand that because obviously it's all IAF. The way I found to pick the model is I just moved the camera left or right, it picked an eye and it stuck with it. So that was very easy to do. There is apparently a way in menu that you can pick between faces as well. I didn't quite get there, we were quite limited on time today. So yeah, we've had a look at that print and I'm so impressed. The detail in the eyelashes there is just amazing. So I've got about half an hour to go and take some pictures in the grounds and see how we get on with it. So now we're outside, I'm going to give you a little bit more about the specs of this camera. As I've said, it's a complete redesign. So let's start with AF system. As I've said, we've got real-time tracking, IAF, animal IAF, and just tracking generally. That also carries over to video, which is super amazing for the video users out there. They're going to love that. We also have 567 phase detect AF points across the sensor, and they cover 74% of the sensor. So it's pretty good coverage in terms of if you are trying to track something, you're probably not going to lose it with that sort of coverage of the sensor. If you go into APS-C crop mode, you have 26 megapixels and you have 325 phase detect points within that APS-C mode, and they cover almost 100% of that smaller region. So if you do want to shoot this almost like a wildlife shooting camera, then you can put it in APS-C crop and you'll be able to track across the whole sensor with no chance of losing your subject. ISO range, we've got 100 to 32,000 native. We can go up to 102,400 expanded. As I've said, we've got those 15 stops of dynamic range. So this thing is going to be amazing in high contrast situations like the one I'm standing in now. Video spec wise, we can shoot 4K. It doesn't have the most incredible video spec, honestly. It does the S-Log3. The autofocus in video is obviously fantastic. That real-time IAF tracking is great for things like interviews or if you're self-shooting, but it does only have 8-bit color in 4K. So I know a lot of people who want to use S-Log3, that might not be the best color depth that they want from that, but you know, this is really pushed more towards the stills side of things. And as I've said, it really is a hybrid stills camera. It's okay for, you know, wildlife photographers to architecture photographers. And actually coming to that architectural side of things, this has a feature that really, I mean, it's purely for pro architectural photographers, really, but they'll like it. Basically, pixel shift technology. When you shoot multiple images by just shifting the pixels slightly, by using that in-body image stabilizer sensor, you can move it slightly. With this one, you can take 16 shots, and that will give you, after processing it in Imaging Edge, it doesn't do it in camera, it would absolutely blow the processor, but it can produce an image that's 240 megapixels, which is just insane. I mean, that is for people who need absolutely crisp detail and also fantastic color depth. They've gone into a lot of detail about how that works, but basically it means that it increases the color depth, it gives you really, really good color accuracy, and you get that incredible resolution. So this is really pushed towards professionals for architecture as well. We also have a sync port for flash. We've got Wi-Fi in this that now goes up to 5 gigahertz, and you can do wireless file transfer into Imaging Edge. Again, fantastic for professionals. 10 frames per second, the dual card slot with UHS-2 compatibility. We've still got the Z series battery in this, which we know has a good range of shots. The upgraded viewfinder, 5.76 million dot. This hasn't just had the new sensor, it's upgraded everything. This 35mm can actually focus pretty close. I think it can get down to about 22 centimeters, which is pretty good. So we've taken some shots in the bright, harsh light. Now we're going to head inside into the darkness. So I'm just testing this ISO range here. So I've shot the first bit at f5 with ISO 3200. So I'm just trying that one first. And then I'm going to go just put the ISO up a bit, and I'm going to stick it up at ISO 12,800. 12,800. That's pretty good to me. Unfortunately, our time with the camera has run out. I mean, we've literally had minutes to test it, so I've gone nowhere near looking at all of the features that this has. It really is a newly designed camera by Sony, very newly designed from the Mark III version. There's so much to this, and it is really built for photographers, not just one style of photography, but photographers in general. It's very impressive. If you want to know more about it, there's loads of information on our website. You can also go onto the blog. There'll be links in the description, whether that's above or below, depending on where you're watching this video. But for now, I've got to give it back.